Hey, what is up, everyone? What is going on, everyone? I don't think anybody's watching yet, but give it a minute here. Hey, guys. It's all right. What's up? You got it? Ooh, okay. That's fine. Thanks. All right. Hey, guys. Today we're building this kit here. I don't think... I'd have to go back and double check to be sure, but pretty sure I've not built any... I've not live built any Muv-Luv kits before. Consider I think I've only ever built 2 or 3. So pretty certain didn't live stream either of those builds. But so this is going to be the first. And this one also, I believe, is the larger scale from the ones that I've built before. Just because I always get confused when I see them. And basically, I know that there's 2 different scales, basically like the equivalent of like a HG and MG, like 144 and 100 scale. But if I remember correctly, this one also doesn't say the scale on it. Yeah, it says non-scale. And the smaller ones are also non-scale, if I remember correctly. So like, it's kind of hard to tell, but there is 2 different sizes that they make these kits in, last I knew. And I think the ones that I've built before are in the smaller size. This is one of the larger ones. Again, I'm pretty sure. Muv-Luv kits are strange to me. They have like the longest names that are really difficult to even remember the names of them. And I've just like never seen the series, so I just have no familiarity. And like I said, like the scale of them from Kotobukiya is weird. It's also like just not very clear sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, they're cool kits though. The ones that I've built, the designs, like a lot of the designs I like from the series. I'm just making sure I got some other parts there in the box. A lot of the designs from the series I like. But the one thing about the designs that is usually the where I'll like all of the design except for one part, and it'll be the head. The head designs on them are pretty weird. There's yeah, very strange head designs, but like the rest of the designs are all really cool. So really kind of when it comes down to me deciding if I want to pick up a Muv-Luv kit or not, it's really just kind of depends on the head. This one is one of the little bit more normal looking ones. So gonna get into this here just a moment, but how are you guys all doing today? Just get myself a little organized here. As you can see, I already got all the parts all cut out and separated and everything all ready to go. Easy. And yeah, how are you guys doing? It's Thursday afternoon. Tomorrow gonna be live on the USA Gundam TV channel. Adam and I will be doing the 50th installment of that live stream, answering your guys' questions and giving some stuff away. We got 2 kits to give away. That's what Adam was just dropping off here for me. 2 kits to give away on tomorrow's live stream, so look forward to that. You guys can hear me and see me and everything okay, right? The chat's doing that thing where it's like not showing any activity in the chat, and then like every few minutes I'll just it'll like update with like 10 messages. So it's now 3:05. And the last message I can see on there from the live chat is 3:02. So I kind of am doubting that 3 minutes went by without anybody saying anything. Oh, there we go. See, now it's updated. Okay, yeah, now like 5 messages just popped up. Okay, Ragey Gamer is there. I'm good. Did you put up the community post for the questions? No, Ragey, I've not done that yet because I just, Adam just let me know now what the prices are going to be. So as soon as we're done with the stream, I'll go ahead and put that up for you guys to comment on there for the live stream for tomorrow. Let's see who else is here. Jazz, everything comes through fine, he said. Chris Jones, you guys are letting me know that everything sounds good. That's good. Mr. Quester, JH, Zeraigon, Leonard, how's it going, guys? Thomas, who else is there? The Revada or Theravada. Not sure exactly how to pronounce that, but yo, all right. So let's get into it. Like I said, I've built a couple of these before, but this one is a little bit different. Okay, and I'm just going to follow the instructions, and for whatever reason, the instructions have you starting off with the arms first. Seems pretty random, but okay. Joshua Lee, what's going on, man? Let's see. Good morning, Dave. Dave Pikey, Last Chance. Isn't that the Captain Underpants Dogman creator author's name, Dave Pikey? I just know because my son is in love with the Dogman comic books. So yesterday was my son's birthday. That was one of the things that we got him was a few more. I think there's like 10, as far as I know, there's 10 volumes of the Dogman comic books out now. He had 6, so the remaining 4 that he didn't have were one of the things that we got him for his birthday yesterday. So yeah, I think the author's name is Dave Pikey. I believe that's right. No, I'm just a tattoo artist from Vegas. Well, all right. You had me there thinking that the author of the book series was somehow a Gumpla fan or something and watching my live stream. I was about to hit him up for an autograph for my son. But let's see. Been a while since you did a Muv-Luv kit. Yeah, it has. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I've only built a couple of them ever. Don't build them often just because, the designs are pretty cool. They're not always very appealing for me. But let's see. Good night. No, it's afternoon here, 3 in the afternoon. Are these kits easier or more intricate than Bandai kits? Thanks. Hope you're well. What's going on, Mike? Cool. To answer your question about these kits being easier or more intricate than Bandai kits, they're not easier, but on the other hand, not necessarily more intricate than Bandai kits. It's more of Bandai kits are pretty idiot-proof, and these are pretty easy to put together as well. I mean, they're not difficult there, but these kits, like a lot of Kotobukiya kits, tend to be a little bit heavier on the seam lines and stuff. So if that's something that you're worried about, then you may find these more challenging. But if you don't really care too much about the seam lines, then you don't have to worry too much about that. But the Muv-Luv kits that I've built before were, I'm pretty sure, so this is what I'll have to go back and check because before I do my review, I'm pretty sure that the Muv-Luv kits that I've built before, the couple that I built before were the smaller ones. This is one of the larger ones, and so I think it's probably going to be a little bit better of an experience. The smaller ones were also a little bit more kind of finicky, whereas this one I can already tell just from the higher part count, this one's probably going to be a little bit more solid. A bit like comparing, in terms of complexity, a bit like comparing a high grade to a master grade, but even this is still not as complex as what a typical master grade from Bandai would be. It's still relatively simple in terms of the parts and everything, as far as I can tell, but just now putting it together. So I guess we'll find out. What else is going on with you guys? I'm going to sleep first. It's 3 a.m. here. Oh, well, yeah, if it's 3 a.m. there, I can totally understand you wanting to head off and go to bed. So you can catch the playback of the live stream later, I suppose, if you're interested. Isn't there a Muv-Luv series currently airing or just finished airing? That I could not tell you. Like I said, I've never seen the anime or anything at all. I believe there's also a game or games as well. Is that true? It's a relatively popular anime series, so I imagine there's probably at least a game of it that exists out there. In Japan, of course. Let's see. Where's that part? I remember just seeing that part, and now I can't see it anywhere. Let's see. Our eye. So it's a black part. And so where is it? Interesting. Maybe I've got it in the wrong spot. No. No. Hey. Where is it? Let's see. Just started. I'm already missing a part. No. Wait, that's not it. It should be black. Yeah, black part. Oh, here it is. Okay. Got it. Those parts I stuck into, see, I have this all separated by section, right? But this corner up here, it depends on the kit, but like usually it's like a leftover space, so I don't really like it'd be torso, this section here. Torso, waist section, leg, arm, head, like backpack, accessories, kind of stuff, depending on how those need to be separated, will go up here. And then there's usually like a little section up here that ends up not being used. Sometimes what I'll use is that space for like any leftover parts or parts that are left over on the runner that I didn't, like I looked through the menu, I couldn't find like where do these parts go, but they're not crossed off in the menu, so I know they're used, but I don't know exactly where they go, so I just stick them up there because I figure, okay, I'll figure it out while putting the kit together, because while I was cutting and separating the parts, I couldn't find it in the manual. So there we go. Found it. Okay. Anyway. Any thoughts on the HG Hazel gigantic arms? I hope to get one and build one. I don't remember offhand if I do have one coming on the way or not, but I love the design and hope to build one. I think there's visual novel games. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I think you're right on that. I do remember that. No, you mentioned it. Sweet, some lunch break entertainment. I've adopted this clipping and sorting plastic bins. I love it. Yeah, there you go, Brother Joe. Glad to see somebody else adopting this assembly method. It's quite convenient, as I'm sure you'll agree now. But let's see. Do need to kind of pay a little bit of attention to what I'm doing here. These parts do have a specific front and back, it would seem. Let's see what else you guys are up to here. Is the anime any good for this? Well, somebody else will have to answer that one. Those of you guys who have seen the anime, what do you think about it? Kevin in the chat wants to know. I have not seen it, but I mean, I've heard just through reviewing the kits from time to time, I have heard people say to me that they do like it. So I guess there you go. This one goes here. This is still just the shoulder armor itself here. There we go. And the other side. Okay. That goes that way. Here. I was just thinking about getting one of these or the Revoltech figure of it. Well, I'm not really into figures. So if you asked me, the easy choice would be just to get one of the Kotobukiya kits. I'm not sure how the price compares. The prices usually, I mean, generally you would imagine that the figures would probably be more expensive than the model kits. That's usually how it tends to go. For Bandai stuff, with this being a Kotobukiya model kit, it's going to be a little bit more pricey. So if the price is similar between the model kit and the figure, I would still go for the model kit just because, in my opinion, it's just more fun to build something rather than just get something and take it out of the box and you have it. But yeah, depends what you want to do. I would recommend going for the model kit. Pretty fun building experience. And the thing is with these designs that have like a lot of sharp pointy bits and things like these Muv-Luv designs tend to have, like the casting quality, or like, no, I shouldn't say casting quality, molding quality from Kotobukiya, they do like really sharp bits quite well. So you'll have really nice, sharp, crisp designs from the model kits here from Kotobukiya. Very pointy, sharp little bits here. So there's just the shoulder armor. Once we put this last little fin up on top of here. Like that, pretty cool. The Revoltech Muv-Luv were cheaper than the kits when they were released, but they are rare now and overpriced pretty much everywhere. Ah, okay, there you go. Glad that we have some people in the chat here that know a little bit more about Muv-Luv than I do, because, yeah, while I'm going to enjoy building the kit, I unfortunately can't really give you guys too much good information about it. So, not going to be necessarily a very informative stream or review. You know, I can review it as a model kit, but fortunately my expertise with the series is very limited. So that's everything for the shoulder. As you can see, it was there's a lot of, got these little moving parts here. You got this vent here on the side, also moves a little bit of just the shoulder there. And now we can actually move on to the arm, construction of the arm. J here. Let's see, I need my nippers. These polycaps are a little tougher than Bandai's. Bandai's polycaps, you can basically just twist off the runner, and sometimes you can do that with Kotobukiya ones, but they do tend to be a little bit tougher to get out. Let's see, and this one's going to go in here. All right. Recently, Bretta said, recently started painting. Found your old seam removal video really helpful. Well, there you go. Bretta's learning a lot from my videos, apparently. The part separation, I don't want to say like technique, but I guess technique, I don't know, for lack of a better word that I can't think of. And also painting. That's cool. Need to do an updated painting video. I know I've been saying that for a long time. Sorry. But yeah, that's still on my to-do list. So we'll hopefully do that here in the near future. Let's see. Uh-oh. There we go. Had like a little piece of dust in there. Yeah, this piece is going to be a little bit tricky, it seems like. Let's go ahead and put this one in here first. What up, Mercenary? What's going on? Ooh, who? The Revoltech TSFs are some of my favorite toys figures ever. Richard's, I don't know what's the TSF. Is that something Muv-Luv related? Let's see. This goes down. Get that Kotobukiya extra press in there. A lot of times when you put stuff together, I mean, it would be like a tight fit, but in order to get it like really pressed in there, you kind of have to really give it a good hard squeeze to get it that really tight flush finish there. Just finished building the MG Jin Gladiator, Mercenary says. How's that? I didn't get that one. I enjoyed the Master Grade Jin, but the Gladiator didn't really appeal that much to me. There's other different variants of it that I'm definitely looking forward to them making, but that one was not really to my taste. Erin, what's up? What's going on? Just building this Muv-Luv guy over here. That's in there. All right. Then let's see. What? This is interesting. This part fits into there like that, I guess. Okay. Very strange way that this part fits into there. But there we go. I guess that's right. I guess we'll find out here in just a second. That fits on there, and this one in here like that. So that's because this is going to be like for our attachment point here on like the side of the arm. Okay, which is especially for this guy here, which we're just about to put on here. This big, huge blade weapon that attaches onto the side of the arm, and it's on a little track, so that can slide forward and back. Like so. We can go ahead and plug that up into here. Oof. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tight fit, and there's a very little clearance up here in the arm for, well, I guess it's better. Okay, it's not bad. Never mind. I was going to say it doesn't really fit up in there too well, but it's actually not too bad. So let's go ahead. Look at this here. Yeah, it's definitely larger than the Muv-Luv kits that I've built in the past. I can already tell the arm is definitely quite a bit bigger. Let's see. And that guy is going to go here. And there's different hand options and obviously instructions for putting the hands together, but I'm just trying to just do it without, just because I'm going to be a little bit impatient here. That's like that. It's like that. The trouble is if I can figure out which thumb part's going here, because the thumb part's not wanting to fit. There we go. Got like a bent wrist, holding hand. Oh, we do have some closed fists actually, so I think I'm going to swap that out. I went ahead and just put the open hands on there, but for when it's not holding anything, well, I guess we'll keep that open hand on there, and for the other hand, we'll maybe do the closed fists. Why is this thumb not wanting to fit into here, though? That might not be the right part. This should be, though. Oh, there we go. Okay. Got a couple holding hands, got an open hand, you got a closed fist, and this part which goes to the other arm. I'm going to toss those in there, put our arm up here, and we can start on the other arm. All right. Hey, what is your favorite Gundam that you love to build multiple times? Well, just yesterday, I built another HG Origin Zaku, which I probably built literally probably about a dozen of those variants, basically every variant that they've come out with for the HG Origin Zaku 2 and Zaku 1. I guess if you include the Zaku 1s. There's got to be around between 10 and 15 of those. Built all those, and I still enjoy it. I love that kit. It's a good looking kit. I really wish that Bandai would have figured out a different way to design the forearms of that kit so that there's not a seam line in the forearms of basically every version of that, except for like, I want to say there's, if you include like the Bugu, and what was the other one? The WAF? No, well, yeah, there's the WAF, and then there was some other kind of thing that it like wasn't a Zaku, but it was very Zaku-esque. There was there's a couple of them that don't have the seam line in the forearm, but this is the one that I was building yesterday. And so, yeah, the derpy Kukoru's Doan's Zaku. So anyway, that's one. I mean, I've built that a lot of times, and I still enjoy that kit. So there's one. Other kits that favorite Gundam that I love to build multiple times. I mean, if you're just talking like just not like a particular kit, but just a Gundam. I mean, the RX-782. Yeah. Snacks, the Snoot version. Yes, exactly. The Snoot version of the Zaku. RX-782. I mean, people complain about they're tired of the RX-782, but I don't know. I always enjoy building a good RX-782. And basically every version of the kit, more often than not, are good, unless you're building one that's like 20 years old or more. Pretty much any version of the RX-782 that's come out in the last like 20 years is a good kit, unless you include like the newer version that they made of the first grade kit. First grade or like 144 scale non-grade kit. I think it's technically is it first grade? I don't remember what's actually on the box. I think it's just non-grade 144 scale kit. But it's like a just newer boxed version of the old kit. Something like that. Anyway, first grade. I think that's right. Other than that, they're all great kit. And even that kit, I mean, it's fine, but that would be one that I maybe don't enjoy that much. 70s accurate, 70s animation accurate Zaku right there. Yes, exactly. That was cool that they went ahead and actually made that like that. Be cool if they came out with a Gundam kit that was similar, like based off of one of the many moments. Oh, what's going on here? Sorry, I missed a call. No, I'm gonna guess that was probably a spam call anyway. I thought I heard my phone doing something over there. Hey, Zach, finally catching a stream. How did the warehouse hold up through Ian? Aaron asked. Everything was fine here, luckily. And like there was a lot of stuff flooded very near here. So we got, I mean, it was really close. We got really lucky. I know if it would have flooded like just a little bit more, like we would have been in trouble. We would have had water in the warehouse. But no, we got very lucky. And a lot of people very nearby didn't get so lucky, so it was close. Yeah, let's see, this is actually gonna go opposite way. Good thing I checked the manual before putting that together. I'm kind of now the second arm is always easier, you know, it's just like repeating what you just did, so usually pretty simple, but do have to remember to check the manual just in case the arms are opposite. They're not symmetrical. It's not just a ×2 thing. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Uh-oh. Shh. Grab my part separator. Whilst trying to put these guys together, the polycap came loose. All right. And Duo Maxwell had a long question there. I think it's a question anyway. He said, so have been watching your old videos about painting and panel lining. Great vids, by the way. I'm going to start doing panel lining and like the way the Tamiya panel line accent color looks the best. I heard that sometimes it can make the plastic brittle and break. I have seen and heard that it's best to try and top coat before you panel line. Would you recommend that? And which top coat is best to get? Right. Okay. So to answer your question, let's see. The first part of your question, does the Tamiya Penoline accent color weaken the plastic? Yes. The easy answer would be yes. Now, is that always a problem? Is it a serious problem? Not necessarily. You can use it directly in the plastic. I mean, I don't know about a lot, but I mean, like some people will tell you like, oh, I use it on the plastic all the time. It's never a problem for me. I've never broken anything, and that's fine. My experience is that I have had parts crack and break from using that directly on the plastic, so it definitely can happen. So it is something to look out for. That said, it can be done, and you can be fine with it. You can get away with it, I guess I should say. And your parts can be completely fine. But yeah, it is a risk. So just do keep that in mind. As far as using top coat to protect the parts, that will, I guess, work in theory. I'm not really sure about that. That I've never tried because I've never bothered putting top coat. Let's see, that's not the right part. I've never bothered putting top coat on a kit just to panel line it. So I can't confirm that. If anybody in the chat can confirm that, then you know, feel free to chime in. But I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt. But that said, I'm not sure how much it will really help. So it kind of just depends. if you really want to do that or not. I would say if you want, then why not? My best advice to you would be just to give painting a try. Because if you're going to be painting the entire kit, then you have much less to worry about the issue entirely. So if you're going to paint the whole kit, then, you know, you can just pen a line with whatever and paint with basically whatever. Oh no, that's not the right part. And yeah, you don't have to worry about it so much. So I would say, you know, if you're asking the question, that I'm guessing, you know, you're not really wanting to paint this time, but you know, maybe next time. Give it a try. Let's see. Some of the Muv-Luv kits are almost MG size. Some are 1/100 scale and some are non-scale. I don't know which is bigger. Yeah, that's what I was talking about a little bit before, was that the sizes of them are strange. And does anybody know offhand, because I can't remember off the top of my head, this one it's definitely one of the larger size ones, but it says non-scale. But the smaller ones, I believe, as far as I can remember, are also technically non-scale. But I mean, there's just like rather than thinking of them with a scale like you would normally want to, basically you just kind of have to think of them as like large and small size, where this is one of the larger size ones. And yeah, as far as I can tell at the moment, it seems like it's roughly, you know, it's a similar to, yeah, like MG size. Just making sure I got that on the right way, because the instruction manual's kind of weird, showing everything like kind of backwards here. Real touch markers work really similarly, and they use a thinner ink standard to panel line markers, won't damage the plastic. Yeah, that's another option too. If you're really worried about damaging the plastic, I would say, and like you're wanting to panel line, then I would recommend, yeah, probably, I mean, the best option probably is just to not bother with Tamiya panel line accent color at all, and probably just use some kind of marker or something like that would probably just be a better way to go, honestly. Then you can just not worry so much about it. Let's see. I think that's right. Like that. Yeah, I've used the panel line markers before. Like if you guys saw, it's a perfect example of this. You can check the video that I just uploaded yesterday of the Kotobukiya kit, the Garuda gear kit, and that was panel lined all just using the Gundam marker. This one, just one of these. Just one of these fine tip Gundam marker. Gray is what I used on that one, but you know, just get the color, whatever is right. What are your thoughts on the Typhoon so far? Well, so far, just basically only built the arms, so I can say though, this one I can already tell, compared to the smaller ones that I built before, this one's definitely feeling like a more solid of a kit in general. Let's see. Okay, I know I was forgetting something. There's also this part. I could just, you know, look at the manual, but trying to just cruise along here without spending too much time looking at the manual. It usually gets me into trouble, but I'm going all right so far. We just have some hand parts here, and we'll be fine. The arms will be done. Once you finish the build, do a size comparison with a standard MG, and you'll know. Well, yeah. We'll do a size comparison for sure. And I've mentioned this before, and maybe I'll mention it at some point, like maybe in a review or something, so people can know. But as far as like size comparisons go, usually I'll do some sort of size comparison in a video, but it really just kind of depends on the kit. And the reason for that, and I've had some people complain sometimes when I don't do a size comparison, somebody will complain saying that they wanted to see a size comparison and I didn't do one. And basically the main reason why I will do them when I do them is because I want to show you guys a size comparison so you have some reference, like, and it's mostly like for kit bashing. So like say if it's like a frame arms kit, for example, I could understand how like some people might want to know like generally what's the size of a frame arms kit because maybe they wanted to give it like a weapon from the 30 minutes missions line or something like that, or they may want to kit bash with like some Gundam parts or something, and so they don't really know how the size of like a frame arms kit compares with like other different Bandai kits. So the reason why I will show size comparisons is more to give you guys a reference like for kit bashing. If it's a kit that like I can't imagine that people like will be kit bashing, then I usually wouldn't show like a size reference. So like what's an example of something that I reviewed recently that I didn't show? I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a kit that I reviewed, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago or something, fairly recently. I didn't show a size comparison just because it didn't seem like a kit like that anyone would be like kit bashing with something else. And so that's why I didn't bother showing a size comparison. Like Lincoln's looking over my shoulder. Yeah, you guys, there's a reason why this is here. You guys will see that in the video, probably going up maybe on Sunday. I need to finish editing and upload that video. Alvin's over there on Twitch, lurking there. Hey, what's up, Alvin? I am live streaming on YouTube and on Twitch, so if you guys are watching on one platform or the other and you have a preference to one platform, you can, watch wherever you like. But just to let y'all know that I am, some people watch on YouTube and they don't know that I usually, when I do these live stream builds, I also stream to Twitch, and some people prefer that. Did he send that with the book? Well, yeah, that's, so watch the video. But yeah, it's to do with the book. Yes, I mean, as you can see, I don't know how clearly you can see, it's very small, but yeah, it's to do with the book. So I got Lincoln's new book, and I did like a short kind of video review on that. And so in that video, this will be explained why that's there. It's kind of a joke, but I figured I'd leave it up there so that you guys can kind of see it in this live stream as kind of like a little bit of an Easter egg. But yeah, for upcoming video. So I have another live stream scheduled for tomorrow, a video scheduled to upload on Saturday, and so the book review video for Lincoln's new book will probably go up on Sunday. So yeah, look forward to that. Good eye. They're seeing that. Chris, what's going on? I'm good. Yes. So everyone loves the new Gundam since all female waifus to simp. Yeah. Well, hey, give people what they want. That's Bandai's motto. Even if you have to, well, I guess I should say, or especially if you can charge more for it. Seems to be Bandai's motto. As I posted, I don't know if you guys saw my YouTube post, not a video, but just a image post yesterday regarding the new Bandai just announced some a weapon expansion set for the RG Avas. Yeah. Unfortunate that that's going to be a P-Bandai set. If you guys have been paying attention to me and my channel for a while, you know that I don't usually get too worked up about P-Bandai stuff, and I usually my feeling is that a lot of other people get way too worked up about P-Bandai stuff, and I usually don't tend to care all that much. My thinking is usually like, if it's a cool kit that I'm really excited about, I'm just glad that Bandai is making it. Even if it's P-Bandai, I would rather have it than not have it. So, I mean, I try not to worry too much about that. But one thing that has annoyed me with Bandai's model kits, like in the recent past, and especially like with this is a really good example of that, is just the fact that like not with those RG Ava kits. If you guys watch my review of like every single RG Ava kit that I reviewed, one thing that I pointed out that I wasn't happy with the kits was that basically every kit just came with the exact same like 2 weapons. And one thing that other versions of model kits, Bandai's past Evangelion kits, and even other like Kotobuki Evangelion kits and other ones usually come with like some really cool weapons and like a variety of weapons. But the ones that came with the Bandai RG kits were just kind of boring, just because of the fact that every new release was just the same weapon again. So it was something that I did complain about with those kits, that it felt like a really big missed opportunity for Bandai not to, include some different weapons. If they're going to be putting out just different versions of those kits, why not put out some different weapons in them, just to give people a little bit more incentive to buy them. But anyway, so now they finally are giving us some more weapons for the RG Avas, and it's in a P-Bandai set. So like with the Kyokai Senki kits, for example, they came out with the weapon sets for those as just a separate weapon set that you can just buy normally. And with what the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this part here together. It's kind of strange. It's hard to tell in the manual. And with like the 30 minutes missions, 30 minute sisters, they release weapon sets as just separate sets, which is, fine. I would have preferred if those sets, like if those weapons and extra stuff was just included with the kits rather than having to buy them separately. But if you're going to give me weapon sets that I not only have to buy separately, but then are also P-Bandai, that's a bit annoying. If it was like an alternate, if like the RG Ava kit included the Lance of Longinus, and then like they came out with like a weapon set that included like an alternate version, like the Spear of Cassius or something like that, then I would say, okay, not a big deal. But it's just the fact that the standard release versions of the kits did feel lacking. So when the regular version feels lacking, it sucks to get more accessories as a P-Bandai set. Whereas if the regular version came with plenty of stuff already, and then they're going to release more stuff as a P-Bandai set, that would make sense. In that case, I'd be like, okay, yeah. Because I would already feel completely satisfied with what I had, that getting that extra set would feel like giving you even more, and it doesn't necessarily feel like it's kind of like required for the kit. Whereas the weapons that they're coming out with in this weapon set is stuff that really feels like it should have just been included with the original release. Okay, rant over, and now I can show some appreciation to Trap Naps for his super chat there. Thank you. I saw your super chat come in. I wanted to continue my rant, but thank you. He said, just getting back into the hobby, your content has been a great help. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Glad that you're getting back into the hobby. And yeah, thank you for the super chat. Thank you a lot. Zach, you used to use Tamiya spray paint metallics, right? Have you ever had to strip pieces? I've had pieces soaking in 91% alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol for 3 days now and have no luck. Chris, using those Tamiya spray cans before, I don't remember if I ever used any metallic ones, but I would imagine the paint would, act in a way that would be, similar for whatever version. Whatever color. What is this here? So I can't imagine like the metallics would act differently than just the regular colors. So that is strange. If the 91% is not doing it, have you tried Purple Power? I don't know if it would. The 91% alcohol would probably be the best thing. But Christian asked, "Are you excited for the Figure Eye Standard Silhouette Mercury kit?" Are you asking that because every time I review a Figure Eye Standard kit, I'm always disappointed with it? Or are you just kind of asking, I don't know if you are asking that like somewhat in jest, knowing my usual thoughts on Figurized Standard Gundam character kits. I am planning on getting the Figurized Standard Soletta Mercury kit and reviewing that with you guys. Although I am not setting my expectations too high, because my experience with that line has not been very good. I've not really enjoyed those kits all that much. More often than not, I've been kind of disappointed with the Figurized Standard line in general, as far as like the Gundam characters and Dragon, and I guess it can also include Dragon Ball. I've only built one of the Dragon Ball ones of Android 18, so I don't really have a lot of experience with those. But yeah, I've been pretty disappointed, so I was hesitant to try this time, but we'll see. I'll give them another chance. Hopefully the Soletta Mercury kit will be good. I like her character design, so that's why I wanted to give the kit a try. But yeah, I'm waiting to see. I'm going to build it, and so we'll find out how fun it is at that time. Let's see. There were some other questions in here. Personally, I'm just glad they made the weapons. Yeah, I mean, Reiji, like I said, that's kind of generally my thoughts on P-Bandai stuff. I mean, like I said, usually I'm just happy that they made it, even if it has to be P-Bandai, But this, like I said, it just sucks because it feels like it's stuff that all should have been included originally and shouldn't be having to come out now as an exclusive item. That's the whole thing. Jin Gladiator MG was supposed to be a regular release, but it seems to have been moved over to P-Bandai at the last minute upon evaluation of what came out of the box. I would have to see that. I know that has happened in the past, like from inside info. But I would imagine the Jin Gladiator, well, I don't know. I'm not sure on that one, but I would imagine that was probably always meant to be a P-Bandai. I would have a hard time believing that the Jin Gladiator was ever like slated to be a standard release, but maybe you're right. I don't know. Don't have any inside info on that one, but I do know about other things that were definitely meant to be P-Bandai and then changed, or vice versa. All right, Kyokai, thank you. What a ride. Love it. I've still not watched any of the series at all. It apparently just has not seemed to have performed all that well. I think as far as like mecha stuff goes, I mean, Gundam's always going to do well. Anything other than Gundam, though, you never know. So, all right. Not really been talking too much on the build of this, but just to give you guys an update before I get back to some more questions and stuff in the chat there, how the build's going. Pretty good. Yeah, definitely better. This larger scale is definitely better than my experience that I've had in the past with basically the smaller kits. So I can definitely recommend between the two. I would definitely recommend these just based on my experience. Oop, so far. Let's see, and I'll try. I'm gonna have to, in order to get caught up in the chat, I had to skip over a bunch there. Sorry, guys, but might have to buy the Sunin Display paint strippers to see if they might work. Yeah, I mean, Chris, you could try that. What kit is it? What was it? The kit that you're trying to. What's the kit you're trying to strip the paint on, Chris? Do you know if Adam is planning on stocking the Simp Alternative, Destiny, Dragon, Jet, and EX Kaiser set at all? No idea. You'll have to ping Adam on that. I have no idea offhand, just because I don't even know what that is. So I don't know. I would imagine that it's probably something that we are going to be getting, yeah, but maybe won't be putting up for pre-order would be my guess. So it might be one of those things that it'll go up on the site once we get it in. So yeah, just send a message to Adam about that. I don't know offhand. Sorry, Chris. All right. hopefully I didn't forget anything in the leg now that I'm giving a good tight press together. So this is an example of what I was talking about earlier about how you have to really press Kotobukiya parts, because like this has a seam line right down the middle on the back. But if you make sure to press it like all the way and get that last little like 0.5 millimeter, it's usually pretty tight. But if you get it all the way, the seam line is virtually invisible. You can barely see any kind of seam line there. So even though kits like this from Kotobukiya do tend to have a lot of seams on them, they're not that obvious, which is why usually in my reviews, when I review Bandai kits and stuff, I usually will take the time to point out seam lines and stuff to you guys. But usually on Kotobukiya kits, the reason why I don't normally focus too much on pointing out seam lines on them is number one, just because like if you have experience with Kotobukiya kits, and you probably already know that just they tend to have more seam lines on them compared to Bandai kits. So it shouldn't really like be coming as a surprise for one. And two is because, yeah, even if you do or I don't know, whatever, do or don't care about seam lines on them, even when they do have them, they're usually, or wherever they do have them, they usually tend to be less apparent. So I don't know if that made sense. Just kind of spit that out very sloppily. E. All right. I think we can go ahead and pop that foot into there. Very interesting how normally you'd think like the foot plugs in at the bottom of the lower leg, which would be like that, which would look really weird because then it looks like he's like wearing like high water pants with like some very tall socks, but it actually plugs in like way up here, like the base of the calf. If I can get that in there. There we go. So yeah, it looks a bit weird from behind. It still looks like still looks like some tall socks, but from the front, it's not noticeable. And with that, we've just got, let's see, this part here like this. That goes on to here. Fold that down. Pop that in there. And we'll be done with this leg. Make sure I have everything lined up. There we go. And you can see it really cool, like those little purple parts that fit into the black parts on the frame. So you have like this kind of like purple lining detail that you can just barely see, kind of like peeking out there in the frame parts. Kind of cool. And this meant to go in here last, but it's a pretty tight fit. I don't know why they didn't have us put that in earlier, but there we go. There's our leg. Very nice. Yeah, definitely the quality of the larger size better than the smaller ones. Definitely. Okay. Azur, hello. Just hopped in. Nice to see you building some Muv-Luv kits. Hey, yes. Yeah, it's not very often. Have you seen the new Uma Musume 30-Minute Sisters? My wife and I enjoy this show, so I'm excited and curious what are other products they might add to the line. Mr. Quester, I'm a bit confused by your question there. What's Uma Musume 30-Minute Sisters? 30-Minute Sisters doesn't have a show unless they're doing some sort of crossover, in which case I haven't seen anything about a release related to that. Who's excited that Japan has reopened for tourism? I am, but I mean, it's bittersweet. I'm excited, I guess, on the one hand, but I mean, I have no plans to go, so it doesn't really have any effect for me. But it's funny that the colors are subdued, but the joints are bright purple. Yeah, it's got like the bright purple lining bits only in the joint areas. Yeah, it is pretty interesting. All right. Let's see. Build the other leg, and then maybe we can finally get to what's next. Torso. Right, that makes sense. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Quester. I'm not sure on your question. Quester. Sorry to say. So can't really chime in on that. Uma Musume has a figurized standard kit that will have a 30 Minute Sisters collab version. No, I'm not sure I've seen that, or I've seen it and I just don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I just saw it and I didn't know the connection there that you mean.
You still in life?
I am.
Okay, sorry.
You're fine. What's up? Just need something from there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'll have to look what that. I'll have to look up what that is, though, Reiji. Yeah, because I'm just not familiar with that. Sorry, guys. If that's part of like, I mean, is that I saw the new 30 Minute Sisters kit, and I talked about it in the video last week, like talking about all the new stuff from Bandai. Is that what you're talking about? That new 30 Minute Sisters kit that has like the kind of like bat evil theme. I talked about it being a very fitting release at Halloween time. How many coats of acrylic should you be laying down? Well, if you're painting using acrylic paints, it kind of depends on the paint style you're going for. But if you're going for like a kind of standard Gundam clean looking paint job style, I know people, I don't have enough experience with it to tell you exactly, but I would say from what I know, from hearing other people talk about it, I would say you probably need 3 or 4 coats. There you go. I'll just go ahead and block that. Sorry for the spam there, guys. I would say you probably need 3 or 4 coats of acrylic paint if you're hand painting with acrylic. But somebody else, you know, who may have more experience with that, feel free to chime in if that's something different. But basically, just it like as far as a general rule of thumb would go, I guess it would just be to, you know, however many coats it takes to get, you know, the proper opacity that you're going for, you know, and you also need to use thin, you know, you also need to use multiple thin coats to avoid seeing like brush strokes and stuff like that, unless you want to see brush strokes. So that's why I'm saying it kind of depends on what you're going for. But you know, for just kind of your standard finish, I would say you probably need 3 or 4 coats to make sure that you get a good opacity of paint built up and you're not seeing your brush strokes, I guess. Oh, I just broke that. Interesting. Well, just broke that part because I was not really paying attention. It doesn't seem like, it seems like it'll be fine though, but even though I kind of broke it, I'm just going to go ahead and throw some glue on there right now. See if that glue works. I don't think that this part was ABS plastic as far as I can remember, so that glue should work fine. Got to be careful. All right, guys. She's the 30 Minute Sisters with the horse tail. She's from an anime that Bandai literally just did a figurize of. Horse? Huh? Huh? Oh, I guess that explains the Uma Musume. Yeah, horse girl, right? Musume Bandai. Yeah, I remember. I know that there was the figurize of here. What's her name? This one, is it Tokai Teo? Is that the character's name? Yeah, character Tokai Teo. Teo. yes, there's that one. So there's a new one coming out. 30-minute sisters. Oh, there's a 30-minute sisters version of her, and it's going to be different somehow from the figurized standard version. All right, well, I'll take a closer look at that later on, but no, yeah, I don't really know too much about it. Except for pre-order on USA Gundam Store. Well, then I guess I should know, but no. We have so much stuff coming in. I mean, I keep up with what's of particular interest to me, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that comes in from many different companies and stuff. Obviously, that's from Bandai, so I mean, you'd think I would know about that, but that one, yeah, I saw that figure was coming out, or the kit was coming out as a figurized standard, and immediately just thought that pass, because of how, especially just because of how like detailed the character design is. I know, like, as a figurized standard, that thing is just going to be like sticker all over the place. So that was why. Oops, better take that out of there. That was why I opted to definitely pass on that figurized standard release. The Soletta Mercury one, I'm sure it's going to have its fair share of stickers, but hopefully not too bad. Like I said, I'm very cautiously optimistic on that one. We'll see. That's coming out very soon, though. What's this piece? Suddenly noticing a piece here that is actually part of the torso that goes there. Yeah, that Soletta Mercury kit's coming out this month, so it should be out any day now. I don't know if Bandai has announced the official date yet or not, but I know it's coming out soon, so we'll see soon enough. Your review of the Hainu sold me on picking up that kit. Awesome. It's a great kit. I'm sure it didn't take too much convincing to sway you on the Hainu, because I mean, that was one of those kits where I mean, you didn't really need me to review it to tell you that it's going to be good. I mean, you could just tell that it's going to be a good one, just with how recently, the real grade line in general is just consistently good. And like with how good the new was, with how good the Sasbi was, you could pretty much assume that the Hainu was going to be, nothing short of great. And so you guys probably didn't really need me to tell you that, but I enjoyed building that one. It's a good one. Ooh, tight squeeze into that polycap up there. And with that, let's go ahead and get the knee on here. How's your situation in Florida? How's your family? Spiral Seahorse asked. If you're referring, are you asking about like just in general or like in the wake of the hurricane? In general, well, I guess the answer is kind of the same to both. In general, fine. In the wake of the hurricane, also fine. We had some damage from the hurricane, definitely. No flooding, fortunately for us, but we had two trees come down in the backyard. Actually, two trees of ours came down. One fell in our yard, one fell into our neighbor's yard. But the one that fell into our yard did land partially on our house and damaged the house a bit, damaged the roof. But the roof was already, let's see, I don't know, a few weeks, I think probably about 3 weeks before the hurricane came, we had already filed a claim to have our roof replaced, just because it already had some damage and stuff going on anyway. It needed to be replaced. So we had already had a claim with our insurance processing to get our roof replaced. and yeah, then the tree fell on it, and it's damaged from the hurricane. So it's definitely getting replaced. So that's good. But yeah, other than that, I mean, like the tree that fell down into the neighbor's yard, it's like it was like right next to our fence. So when it fell down, it like took the fence with it on that side. So like there's some damage with the fence. There's some damage on like the screen and like the screen door on our back lanai on the back of the house, also damaged. But I mean, relatively minor stuff. So yeah, we got pretty lucky that it was not anything more serious. Because yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people died. It's no joke. There's a lot of people in Florida lost a lot. So our area was pretty lucky. Even like areas around here, there was some areas, neighborhoods that were completely flooded. They had to get like police boats. And I think once the National Guard showed up, and they were in boats, like rescuing people out of their houses and stuff. And it was a pretty serious situation. So, and that was like, you know, just in like neighborhoods that are like just a mile away from ours, or, you know, just like the next neighborhood over. So it's a lot of people had it a lot worse, very near where we were. So we were lucky. I got really lucky, and let's see. Also, there was a Gym Sniper 2 next to it. Had to pump the brakes a bit and hold off on the gym. Well, the Gym Sniper 2 is a great kit. If you're talking about the MG, I've not built the high grade, but I would imagine the high grade is probably good too. But especially if you're talking about the master grade, the Gym Sniper 2 is very nice. So if you go back to your local store, you know, if they have it in stock, I would definitely recommend picking that up if that's, you know, catching your eye. I wish they made it MG Zaku 1 2.0. Yeah, definitely. If Bandai were to do a Zaku 1 2.0, how much of the Zaku 2.0 frame would you imagine it would have at this point? I feel like it would have the joints, but not much else. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's a good question. I think they could certainly probably use parts of the Zaku 2 2.0 frame, but definitely not all of it. So I don't know if they would. I would imagine just based on how old the Zaku. Well, I don't know. It's based on how old the 2.0 Zaku 2 is. If they were to make a 2.0 Zaku 1, I would imagine that they may just, you know, say, let's just make it entirely from scratch. But I don't know. They are still making kits that are using the 2.0 Gundam frame. What was the one that just came out? Well, I mean, the Zaku 2 MG is now like 5 years old, I guess, but that uses the 2.0 Gundam frame. So Bandai is not against using a frame just because it's old. If it's a 2.0, it's a 2.0. So I don't know. Yeah, anyway, though, I do agree that it is way past due to get a 2.0 of the Zaku 1. We've gotten 2.0 of a lot of different, well, not a lot, but we've gotten a 2.0 of a number of different one-year war mobile suits. And it seems like it only makes sense that they should do a Zaku 1 as well. I agree. Let's see, but the Zaku 1 2.0 is going to end up being, it's going to end up on the P-Bandai and at most. Yeah, well, that's also certainly a possibility. Yeah, they could make it, you know, make a 2.0 of the Zaku 1 and make it based off of the Zaku 2 2.0 frame and just release it as a P-Bandai. I could definitely see that happening. Unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. You would hate to see it, but I could definitely see it. But yeah, I don't know. With how many different variants that they could use that frame for, I mean, it seems like it would be a good opportunity to just go ahead and make an entirely new frame. But like I said before, we all know, unfortunately, that's not how Bandai works more often than not. But I don't know. It seemed like it was kind of a rule of thumb there for a while that like Bandai makes what Bandai decides to make master grades of is things that can be milked, for lack of a better word, just because, you know, when for all of the cost that goes into designing and producing a master grade kit, they want to be able to make that cost, when they want to be able to make up that cost, make that money back by being able to produce variants. So like if they were to make like a Zaku 1 2.0 and make it entirely new, I mean, they could release many different versions, many different variants of the Zaku 2 where, you know, they don't have to design an entirely new kit every time. They just, you know, design, you know, half a new kit to make the variant or whatever, or even less than that, depending on what the variant is. But I don't know. There's been examples recently where that seemed like it was going to be the case, and it has not happened. So like the Master Grade Jagan is one. I expected by this time, if you would ask me when the Master Grade Jagan came out, you know, 5 years down the line, how many different versions of the Master Grade Jagan do you think will have been produced by that time? I would have said, you know, maybe 5, like 1 a year or something like that. Coming out as P-Bandai kits, of course, but I mean, I would have assumed we would have got more variants of the Master Grade Jagan by now, but we've not, which is strange. The Master Grade Barbatos is another perfect example of that as well. Why we've not seen any other MGI BO kits is very confusing, to say the least. It's a mystery. I don't know. So I don't know. There's definitely examples of Bandai coming out with master grade kits that you would expect them to just milk the hell out of, and they're just not doing it yet anyway. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. We'll see more variants of the Jagan. We'll see more MGIBO kits. It's only a matter of time, but I'm surprised, and I'm sure I'm not alone being surprised why we haven't seen more of them. Yeah, I thought that with the MG Jagan, there's only been, oh yeah, anyway, Chris Jones just agreeing. Yeah, there's only been 1 or 2. I think there's, with the Master Grade Jagan, I think there's only been the 1 variant so far. There's just the regular one, and then they came out with it was the D type Jagan, is that right? When do you think the MG Ariel will come out? Johnny is asking. I would say in probably 2024 would be my guess on the MG Ariel. At this point, I don't think that the MG Ariel will come out next year. I think probably it'll be in like the first half of 2024 would be my guess. But it could be next year. But with the full mechanics 100 scale version of the Ariel coming out at the beginning of next year, it doesn't really seem like it would make a lot of sense for Bandai to release 2 different 100 scale versions of the Ariel in the same year. I would think that they would at least want a little bit of time in between. So I would say they probably want to, you know, focus on selling the full mechanics kit for a little while first, and then they'll come out with the master grade maybe a year later or so. Could be later, but you know, similar to what they did with the Barbatos. So look at the Barbatos for an example. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how long it was in between those releases, but you know, whatever that was, that would be a good reference for what you can expect with the Ariel. Because I think the series is going to do well. So I think making a master grade Ariel is not a question of if, but just a question of when. I'm sure it's going to happen. All right. I don't have any, I should be clear, I don't have any inside information on that. I'm just saying that's just my prediction. Give me more AOZ kits, Bandai. Yeah, the P-Bandai Advanced Zeta train has definitely slowed down quite a bit, hasn't it? But it hasn't slowed to a stop. Amazingly, it's still going. It was I mean, they were coming out with a lot there for a while. But no, yeah. It hasn't completely stopped. It's very surprising. But I'm sure they sell well. Everybody loves AOZ. Let's see. Don't think that's... Oh, it is. Oh, no, it's not. I was going to say, don't think I'm putting that in there correctly. There we go. Oof. Gonna have to be very careful with this one as well. Let's see. There you go. Are there any good places to get any of the MG Hazel kits? I've wanted one for a while. I just can't find them. I don't know. I mean, at this point, you know, with it, unless Bandai does a reissue, which, I mean, you never know. I mean, Bandai could come out, you know, next month. Their P-Bandai schedule could include a reissue of, you know, one of the Masquerade Hazel kits. Could very well happen. But aside from getting it from Bandai directly, I guess at this point, probably your best bet would just be to get that, you know, off your regular secondary sites. So, you know, if you want to get one from Japan, maybe like AmiAmi or Mandarake, or getting it through like a proxy service like Zen Market or something like that. Or, you know, if you want to try to get it from somewhere here in the US, eBay, or if you like ask around in some different like Facebook groups, some buy, sell, trade Facebook groups. There's a few of those. You know, maybe there's somebody who has one that they're willing to sell. Kind of doubt it because it's a very popular mobile suit. So anybody who has one probably not going to want to sell it, I would imagine. But you never know. Maybe somebody's, you know, needs the money. In that case, they're probably not going to want to sell it to you for very cheap. But, you know, you never know. You could get lucky. Maybe there's somebody on there who's a very kind and generous individual and is willing to sell you that kit like for basically like at cost, for like what it cost when it first came out. I don't know. Stranger things have happened. You might get lucky. It's worth a try anyway. Unfortunately, AmiAmi Global is no longer selling Bandai stuff. Really? Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, there was that whole thing where Bandai like told like sellers in Japan that they weren't allowed to sell abroad anymore, but HLJ obviously still does. So I don't know. It seems like either Bandai is just giving HLJ a pass, or I don't know what the situation with that is. It's interesting though. Why other stores Bandai made them stop, but not HLJ. My guess with this, and again, I don't have any information about this at all, you know, don't quote me on that, but my guess as to why HLJ was unaffected by that decision from Bandai is to do with the fact that possibly it's because HLJ is, as a business, is actually registered in Canada, but they just operate out of Japan, in which case maybe Bandai can't enforce that rule on them as they could to a store like AmiAmi or Mandarake or something. That would be my guess. I heard that it was just to limit sales to stop scalping. HLJ limits you to, I mean, maybe that was it. Maybe that was their compromise. You know, Bandai, you know, and HLJ compromise like, okay, we'll allow you to continue to selling abroad, but you have to set limits. But then that seems very unfair that they wouldn't allow like AmiAmi or Mandarake to do the same, you know. AmiAmi always allows you to buy 3. Well, I mean, if they would have given them that option, if Bandai would have like given AmiAmi the option to, you know, continue selling Bandai products, but they have to limit it to 1 per person, I can't imagine why AmiAmi would have been like, nah, we'll just stop selling Bandai products. I would have imagined that. I have to imagine that Ami Ami would have taken them up on that offer if they would have been offered that. But I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. Today is a distributor, so that probably helped. Yeah, I don't know. Always found hidden Gunpla gems in the pre-owned section. I mean, like, yeah, any Japanese secondhand site that operates online, I mean, it's great. Those are the kind of stores that, you know, are awesome to go to when you're there in Japan. But with in recent years not being able to go to Japan, you know, at least being able to still shop on the websites is still something, I guess. But all right, anyway, in other news, we're now done with the top half, as you guys saw there, of the kit. Looking very cool. Very tiny little waist section here. Very. Now just putting together the hip section. And then after that, maybe we'll finally get to the head as well. Let's see. I wish they would bring back the pre-owned. I found my Uma Lightning's Gelgoog and a lot of my high mobility Zaku's from them. That Uma Lightning's Gelgoog, man. What a kit. Such a cool kit. I can't imagine that I mean, if you can find that, I cannot imagine that kit is going for very cheap these days. Probably going to be a real expensive one if you can find it. Let's see. All right. Let's see. That one's going here. While we're on the topic here, building a Kotobukiya kit, just a reminder to you guys that tomorrow is the last day to submit your entries for the Mecha Musume contest. It's probably a bit pointless to give you guys a reminder at this point, because if you're planning on entering the contest, then hopefully you've already sent in your entry by now, or you're working on finishing up your entry so you can send it in by the deadline. Probably, I don't think there'd be any of you who would need a reminder at this point and be able to do anything about it, if you know what I mean. It's not like you're... what's the problem here? There you go. It's not like anybody's going to be reminded and be like, oh yeah, I forgot I was going to enter that contest. And now you have basically like 36 hours, less than that, 30 hours to finish. Probably not going to do you much good, I guess. So sorry if that was the case. But for those of you guys who are planning on entering, hopefully you've already sent your images, or you know, you're getting ready to do so. Been getting a lot of entries for that contest, which is awesome, and need to spend some time tomorrow and then over the weekend going through all the entries, getting everything already organized, sent out to the judges for them to start taking a look at, and myself as well, of course. And then we can, you know, hopefully get you guys the winners within a week. Here is the body all done. Very cool. Yeah, definitely a lot nicer than the smaller scale ones, for sure. Very nice. Interesting. I'm going to go and get some sleep. Ruffle, see you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming to hang out. Let's see. Now we're going to build the, like, kind of big binders, I guess you would call them. Question mark. Out the back here. And missing a couple of parts, so we'll have to do that. Kind of got the parts mixed in over here. A couple of parts for the back that are... Oh, is that those? That is those. Here. A couple of parts that were mixed in with the weapons. should have been in with these parts, but okay. If I can get that. Right there. It's called jump units, basically the main propulsion system of the Muv-Luv mech. There you go. Thank you, jump units. Good to know. One aspect of the Muv-Luv designs that I absolutely love. It's definitely one of my favorite parts. If the Muv-Luv designs didn't have these, I mean, they definitely wouldn't have anywhere near as much appeal for me personally. I love this aspect of the designs, the jump units, as I'm now glad to know. Thank you. I think I had that right. There we go. Very reminiscent of like the GPO3. The GPO3 has those big things out the back, like out the back, like side back skirts. Yeah, very similar to that. I think it's the only Gundam design that I can think of off the top of my head that has something similar. I'm sure there's maybe other ones that are kind of similar, but that's definitely the closest thing. All right, and this is the connection pieces for that. The jets on the back of these models are basically mini versions of real-life jets. Each design is based on pretty... Yeah, I mean, I've never like thought about it in too much detail, but yeah, I mean, definitely. I don't know real-life jets well enough to know like, oh, this is that. But these ball and socket joints are real tight, and there's a lot of, I feel like, fragile parts going on here. Just trying to be a little careful. Here we go. So that and this one. Side question: are you and your family going to celebrate Halloween? Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna have like a Halloween party or anything. We're gonna go trick-or-treating, yeah. My kids already have their costumes. My wife and I, our costumes are still works in progress. My son's going as Spider-Man, and my daughter is going as a unicorn, and my wife and I are planning on being Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler from Jurassic Park, from the original Jurassic Park. But yeah, we're both at like 50% for like our costumes. So you need to make maybe one or two more trips to some thrift stores, try to find the pieces of the costumes that we still need. I'm thinking I've been looking around for a proper like Alan Grant looking hat, and they're not easy to find. It's like the cheap ones don't look right, and the ones that look right are expensive. So I don't know. I don't really want to spend like over $100 for a hat for a Halloween costume. I mean, I could then still use the hat, but fuck. Cannot get this ball joint into there. And these parts are very sharp. So I'm being careful. I don't want to break off the little wing tips and stuff on here. So I have to be careful like how I hold it, but just like trying to get this in there. It's really tough. Let's see. I think I can do it like this. Whew, there, finally. It's a tough ball joint. And backwards. There we go. Ouch! Dang. All right. enjoying the kit, but not liking that. Be careful, the joint connector and the hip to the jump unit is fragile. Yeah, well, that part that I was just working on, if that's what we're talking about, yeah. There's also this part here, which I can't imagine this is the part you're saying was fragile. This part just plugs onto the back of here like this. So interesting. So you could have it like without the jump unit, just have it like this. Omit these parts. There you go. And more polycaps. Yeah. That does it for the polycap burner. Especially the ball joint is too tight. Yeah. That's what I'm figuring out. The ball joint, these polycap ball and socket joints, a little tight. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this one's easier to do than the other one. But let's find out. I imagine this should be. It's more difficult to get like a PS plastic into a polycap socket than the other way around. It's a polycap ball into just a regular PS plastic socket. It's usually easier. All right. Oh, forgot something there. Oh, this piece, which is also hiding out over here. So with this, then all we have left is the weapons, and we do have quite a lot of those. This one has like a this kit has like its own kind of signature weapon, as far as I know. Again, you guys, those of you who are in the chat here who know more about Muv-Luv than I do, the long rifle for this one is the kind of signature weapon of this unit, right? As far as I know, it's like a weapon that's, well, that, and it's got like these kind of sword weapons too, which are also, I think, unique to this one. My fingers hurt now. So here's the sword weapons. They're like kind of axes, I guess I should say, but like they're very thin axes, almost like swords, long and thin. Two of these guys like that. Pretty cool designs though. And other one, got two of these. Muv-Luv was a decent anime. It was self-contained for what it is, not an insanely long anime. Is there anywhere? Is it on Netflix or anything? You know, I may check it out. Watch a couple episodes and see if there's anything that see if it catches my attention. I started watching Kill la Kill, but I need to go back and watch some more of that. By I started watching, I mean like I watched like the first episode, and I meant to continue watching that and watch it in its entirety, but that was like 2 months ago. I watched the first episode and have not yet gone back and continued watching that. Need to do that. But it's a series I've always wanted to watch. I always thought it looked really cool, and like the animation style and everything I like. Although originally is a trilogy visual novel. Let's see. Very cool weapons, though. Like I said before, one thing that I love about the designs of them is the jump units, as you guys let me know they're called. Thanks for that. The other thing that I like about the designs is the weapons. They always have some really cool weapons, and this one's definitely an example of that. So you got 2 of these. Try your rifles with the grenade launcher, I'm going to guess is what that is on the bottom of there. And yeah, it's got like the axes and the long rifle. So some very cool variety. Again, like I was talking about earlier with the RG Ava kits and why it really sucks that why Bandai's coming out with that weapon set for the Avas. Can you imagine like if this kit only came with these 2 rifles? I mean, you could say, oh, well, you know, it comes with weapons. That's cool. And then these other weapons that it's got were as a separate set. I mean, that would kind of suck. Whereas, like, okay, say it came with these, and it came with a long rifle, but these axes were in a different set later. Then, I mean, like, that's fine. You get, you know, what you get in the box is kind of enough. Some good options already right there. And then to, you know, have something even more coming out later, we're fine. Anyway. I'm not going to rant on it too much because I want to save it for a rant video. We'll see about that. But, all right. We just got last couple little bits here to finish up for this guy. The weapon is also inspired by IRL weapon, like the Japanese unit actually used the P-90 inspired assault rifle. Interesting. The anime omits quite a bit from the source material. The visual novel is the way to go. Ooh, a Zaku rant video. Yeah, I don't do them too much, but that should tell you that how serious the situation is. Me, who doesn't really do rant videos too much, to do a rant video on it, then you know it's a very serious situation. But no, just the only reason it would just be because like I said before, generally when it comes to like P-Bandai stuff, I usually find that, you know, people complain too much about P-Bandai, and P-Bandai is really not that bad of a thing to complain about. Whereas this, in comparison, I feel like is something more worthy to complain about, because it's a matter of like not getting stuff that should be included with the standard release version of the kit, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll do a video, I guess, maybe, and see what you guys think about it. All right. The construction of the bipod for this is kind of interesting, and don't know how I'm going to get that onto here completely without breaking that. Might need to get the old tweezers out later. Try to push it. Oh, I guess it is all the way on there. There we go. Okay. Bipod on there. And what's next? This part. Okay. That goes on there. That on there. I really appreciate kits that come with a ton of accessories. Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm really glad that the Kotobuki are reissuing some Muv-Luv kits. Yes. There's a ton of content that the anime can't fit due to deadline. Yeah, that happens, right? Unfortunately. Oh, so that's the end there. Then, okay, we got this part that zigs back, goes on there. That goes on here. Very interesting construction here for this rifle. I really like how this goes together. Oops. And let's see, I have a knife here. Good. missed one of the nubs here on this, and I think it's going to get in the way of parts fitting properly. Uh-oh. Never a good sound when you hear that sound of a tiny part falling off. Not good. Oh, both of those little parts fell off. Uh-oh. And I know where one is, but I don't know where the other one is. So, let's see. I'm gonna... Well, I need to find that. Hopefully it's here on the... Oh, there it is. Whew. I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue on those parts before I do anything else, because don't want to be searching for that later. And it's a part that if and when later, when I'm getting ready to paint the kit or whatever, if I need to take that apart, I should still be able to take that apart, even though it's glued. Or I don't really need to take that apart in order to prep the kit for painting, so it should be fine. All right, as we were saying, we're connecting this part here. It's a very long gun indeed. Oh my. There we go. Plenty of seam on there, unfortunately, but there you go. Weapon option kits, in my opinion, are a huge scam for folks outside Japan. They're like 500 yen, but like $5 to $20 with shipping for a minimal amount of plastic. Yeah, cosmic. I mean, I wouldn't say like a scam. I wouldn't word it like that, but I mean, it definitely sucks. Yeah. Let's see. These guys go in the back. And I don't necessarily have a problem with weapon sets in general, just because, like I said, it's the point of weapon sets should be, in my opinion, to be not something that like a kit needs. It shouldn't. If there's like a weapon that's like very iconic to that, Evangelion, for example. If there's like a weapon that's quite iconic to that Eva, then it should be just included with the standard kit. You know, if it's something that's like never actually appeared in the anime or like appeared in the anime for like 5 seconds, then in that case, you know, that makes sense. To be as a online exclusive thing. So, all right. We got all the weapons done. There's that long rifle. Very cool. Love that. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to pick up this kit, just because that rifle is so cool. All the weapons done. But then we have basically like the weapon racks that we have to build now, which are just going to go up here on the back once these are done, once they're all put together, to hold the weapons onto the back. Let's see. Here we go. And then we'll be done very soon, which is good timing because I need to wrap this up in a couple minutes here. And a couple other things to do. So I might actually even have to cut the stream off a couple minutes early if we don't finish up here in a few minutes. Because I need to get the post up for you guys so that you can do that ahead of the live stream tomorrow on the USA Gundam TV channel. So let me just do this. We're basically done with the kit. Like I said, just right now, this is just the parts to mount the weapons onto the backpack. So it's nothing really too interesting as far as just like the construction of these parts go. Pretty straightforward stuff. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up the stream here in just a few minutes. Any last words from any of you? Any final questions or anything, especially regarding this kit in particular? Can be anything really, but obviously especially if it's related to the kit or it's kind of my general thoughts on the kit. My thoughts on the kit really is just that it's cool, definitely, and yeah, definitely better than experiences that I've had with Muv-Luv kits in the past, building the smaller versions. This larger version, I want to say it's somewhat like comparing like HG and MG, but even this as like the MG in that example is not. I mean, I don't want to make you guys think that it's like an MG because it's still not really quite like a Bandai MG. It's not that complicated. It's like an MG. It's, I guess, akin to an MG from, well, I don't even want to say like from the early days of MG because it doesn't have a full inner frame. It's more like full mechanics in my opinion. I guess sort of, but I mean, I guess, yeah, kind of, yeah. Oh, we haven't built the head yet. How did I miss building the heads anywhere in there? What the hell? Where did I miss that? Oh, it's because it was this tiny step here on the side. Okay, well, let me build the head real quick. Let me just push that stuff to the side. Why don't we at least put the head on here? Jeez. But yeah, full mechanics. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good comparison for it. Yeah, it doesn't have the full inner frame, but it is pretty nicely detailed and everything. Doesn't really have like a ton of color separation, and there's a good amount of color separation on there. Just the design itself is not like a very colorful design or anything like that. So, Mercenary, you knew I was missing the head, and you were gonna let me finish the stream without building that. I'd have felt silly. I'd have gotten off the stream and like putting stuff away and getting ready to leave and like noticed, oh, there's no head on it. All right. Yeah. So anyway, I'll just get this head put together and then we'll wrap it up for today. But yeah, tomorrow morning, Adam and I will be live on the USA Gundam TV channel. You guys can, once I get that post up, you can go ahead and comment on that, leave your comment on that to enter into the giveaway for that. We've got 2 kits to give away. I won't spoil the surprise, but I'll have that posted for you guys just very shortly here after wrapping up this stream. So you can comment on that on either, well, on the USA Gundam TV YouTube community tab. There's a post. There's also a USA Gundam Store Instagram post and Facebook post. So you can only comment once on each post, but you can comment on all 3 posts. So basically you can have like 3 chances to win if you comment once on each of the different posts. So I encourage you to do so. Why not? If you want to win, why not? But yeah, just make sure, only leave 1 comment on each thing. There's the head. It's a pretty cool head. Like I said, one thing about the Muv-Luv designs, the heads are pretty weird on them. So not all of them are really appeal to me, but this one's pretty cool. There we go. Now it's done. Okay. So very cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It's the first time ever building a Muv-Luv kit live. And yeah, hopefully it was interesting to you guys. I know, I mean, when I've reviewed these kits in the past, I know that there's some people who don't even know these kits exist. So, if you didn't know that Muv-Luv kits exist, or if you know that they exist, but you've never, seen much about them, you kind of thought, well, I like the series, looks kind of interesting, but, I don't know if the kits are any good. I can tell you that it's pretty good. Yeah, very cool. So yeah, and definitely a lot better than the, I guess it would be like the 1/144 scale, but it's not, that's not the right scale. But the smaller versions, those kits weren't bad, but this one definitely is better, I can tell you. So this is what I would recommend. Obviously going to be the more expensive version. But there you go. So there's the Typhoon. I'm going to wrap it up here for today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.